Hello all. Now we will be seeing DOM manipulations. DOM and its importance. Let us know about DOM and its importance. DOM is Document Object Model, which is a programming interface for documents. It represents a structure of a web page. It gives a structure of a web page and allows you to interact with and manipulate its elements using JavaScript. And DOM manipulation is crucial for creating dynamic web applications. So it will be allowing us to update the content, update the structure and style of the web page where, in response to the user actions, making your website more interactive and responsive. Here the structure, sample structure, DOM tree structure of an HTML page. If you see, the DOM is a structured as a tree with a document object at the top. Each HTML element becomes a node in this tree, and you can traverse, access, and modify these nodes. So, if you see here, HTML is the prime node, and head HTML has head tag and the body tag, and under the head we are gonna have metadata, title, style, links, and all. In the body, if at all, if we are using is this is only a sample one. H1, the header tags and the sections, and each section has a paragraphs, and the paragraphs are using strong, bold, italics, these kind of tags, formatting tags. Okay, so and footer is also been there. So in this way, the HTML page, a sample HTML page, which has a four paragraph section, footer, header tag, and a body tag. Okay, so we can, for accessing the elements, you can make use of selecting elements by ID, selecting elements by class, selecting elements by tag name, and selecting elements by CSS selectors. So here is an example which will show you how to select elements with in this four ways, that is by id. If you look here, constant element by id, that is document dot get element by id, you need to write your element id. So here we can use specific id. We can select elements with their specific id by using document dot get element by id. And these methods, selecting elements by class, if you see constant elements by class, this is a variable name. You could give any other name also. So here it will be taking document dot get elements by class name, the class name that we have declared in the web page. Okay, for grouping of the elements. So selecting elements by tag name, if you see here, I'm using get elements, document dot get elements by tag name, give the tag name. And constant selecting elements by using CSS selectors, you can use document dot query selector all and give that selector which you want to select for. Modifying elements, here we want to change the, if at all, if we want to change the HTML content, we can do it so using HTML property. Here is an example how we are making use of inner HTML. Element by id dot inner HTML equals to, we can give the new content. Okay, and changing element attributes using set attribute method to modify the element attributes. So element by id, get it by that id, whatever we have got, you set it to be the source as a new image. It has to give a new image. Modify element by styles, here element by id, style dot, this is the variable name, dot style dot background color, I am going to change into blue. Here I am trying to modify the style property. And creating and removing elements, you can create new elements, you can remove the elements or append the elements and clone the elements with these methods. That is, you can create new elements using document dot create element method. You can append or remove elements using append child or remove child element. You can clone the elements for using clone node to create copies of elements. Creating a new element, like here I have given an example. How are we going to create a new element? New element variable, we are going to give create a new element called division. It will be creating a new element with division with a div tag. Okay, element by id, you can append child, like new element could be appended here. This new element has to be added. Okay, and you can remove the earlier existing element, that is remove child. You can use remove child and the new element. Okay, cloning an element, it will be when you set this clone node to be as true, then this clone element will be, that will be cloned to the clone element. And event handling, like you have to add some event listeners, attach event listeners to the elements using add event listener method. Event object and event types. Event listener receives an event object with details about the event, including its type. Event bubbling and event delegation, understanding how events propagate through the DOM and use event delegation for efficiency. Here we are trying to add an event listener element by id dot add event listener. When it is clicked, that event is, it has to give an alert that element clicked. So there are many other such kinds of event listeners that I have given in the pdf. Please go through that. DOM traverser, for traversing into the through the DOM, we are having navigating the DOM tree using properties like parent element, child nodes, etc. We can have a parent, child, and sibling elements. Okay, for accessing parent, child, and sibling elements with parent node, child node, sibling node, okay, and previous sibling also. Finding elements within a parent, you can use query selector all on a parent element to find specific child elements. Here is an example which shows you how to access parent element. Constant parent element equals to element by id dot parent element, it shows you the parent element. The child elements, that is child nodes, it gives you the child nodes, stores in the child element. Finding elements within a parameter, you can use query selector all div. Okay, this will be giving all the child divs. That's it for now. Thank you all, keep learning.